Hi guys, it's Viloshan. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. In this video, we're going to be looking at image classification, and we're going to be specifically looking at a Python library called Pillow. In this specific video, what we're going to do is we're going to look at two similar images with small differences. We're then going to identify the differences using the Python library called Pillow and then show the output. So let's get started. So the first thing that you're going to need to do is install Python. Currently, the latest version of Python is Python 3.8. Once this is installed, you will then need to install a Python library called Pillow. Pillow is a library that we will use to identify the differences between the two similar but different images. Once we complete installing these two dependencies, all that's left for us to do is get started and write our code. Okay guys, so let's get straight into it. So these are two images. I just call them tree 1 and tree 2. They have small differences, but to the untrained eye, if you just have a look at it at a quick glance, you won't be able to tell the differences. And what we're going to be doing is we're going to be using this Python library we're just going to write a few lines of code. I'm going to show you how easy it is to pull out or identify those differences. Now I'm going to get into the use cases, what we can possibly use it for later on. But the first thing, let's get started and write some code, get this up and running and see exactly how it works. I'm so excited, guys. So this is Anaconda. Anaconda is what I use to actually write my Python script. So I click on Jupyter Notebooks and it creates a virtual environment where I can actually type out my code and get straight into it. So I sometimes vary between Atom or Jupyter Notebooks, but for this example, I'm just going to use Jupyter Notebooks. It's just easier for me to work with. I will put the links in the YouTube video, so where you can actually download Anaconda or Atom. So, but there's many that you can actually use. So let's get straight into it. So there is a notebook option right at the top. So it says Python 3 and Notebook. So I'm going to actually click the notebook option and it's going to take me into my code editor straight away. So I'm just going to rename this code, this notebook to something that's easier for me to read, so image detection example. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to start writing my code. So the first thing that I'm going to need to do is I'm going to need to import my Pillow library. So it's just the normal stuff that I do is just from Pillow, import image and image chops. So those are the two that we're going to be using. So it's just a few lines of code. So the first thing, let's start by declaring two variables for the images. So the one is image 1, and I'm using image from Pillow to actually open up that specific image. I've already created the two. I've already added the two pictures, so they already in the file. The next thing, what I'm going to do is just obviously create the variable for the second image so I can easily reference to it. Okay, so that's now done. Okay, so the next thing that we're going to need to do is we need to create a change variable, and this change variable will basically tell us what the difference is between the two images. So this is where we'll use image chops, because this tells us identifies the difference between these images. So I'm just going to have say image chops.difference, and I'm going to add these two image variables that we've created, so image 1 and image 2, which represents those two tree images. Once we do this, we then going to need to create an if statement, because we're going to say if there is a change in the two images or one image to the next, then produce an output of the difference. So we basically want to see what the difference is between these two images. So it's just simple like that. And that's all the code that we actually going to need to run our program. It's just simple. I think it's about 6 lines of code, if I'm not mistaken. It's very, very simple, very, very easy to use. There's many use cases, but I'm going to get to that right at the end of the video. As you can see, these two images, not very, very easy to spot the difference. Let's run the program and see what the output is. Okay, I see there is a problem and I can see it's the difference. Okay, just put D instead of the F. Save it and let's run it. Okay, the program has run and it has pulled up the differences. So this is the output image and it shows that there are about 5 or 6 differences between tree 1 to tree 2. So this is pretty cool because it, as I've mentioned before, with just having a look at the two images quickly, you won't have been able to see these differences. So let's go straight into it and see exactly where these differences are. I've just opened up the two images on my laptop and I'm just flipping through them, and you can see highlighted on the screen the differences where they are, and how this pillow library has actually identified them. So this is a really nice 6-line example which you could use. I think you could modify it and perhaps productionize it in your environment, or if you just want to play around and have some fun with it. It's pretty cool. So as I've mentioned, in terms of the use cases, I think a couple of the use cases that you could have a look at, it relates to scanned documents. So if you're working in an organization where a customer needs to be verified, sometimes you want a new product, you need to provide verification based on the original documentation that you've submitted. So you can write a small program using this pillow library to actually verify against the original document. And if there are any fraudsters out there, you'll be able to easily identify the difference, whether it's just to say if it's a fake or an original. So let's take an ID document as an example. So an ID document may have a signature, it may have a barcode. So if there is any fake ID document that has been uploaded or scanned through, you will be able to easily identify it using this program. And I think you can build a nice web front end where people can automatically upload their documents and get an output, and you'll be able to identify that, and you'll be able to pick up fraud pretty easily. So yeah, there's many use cases for this. I think it's something that's really quick and easy to implement, and I look forward to making many more fun videos in the coming weeks, so stay tuned. Thank you so much. If you like this video, please don't forget to subscribe and hit a like and a share. Thank you so much. Cheers. Bye bye.